Hello everyone, Mason here. How you doing? Today it's time for a book tag. So, if you don't know Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, you're missing out. She's an absolutely lovely booktuber who's currently trying to work her way through her giant TBR. Alice's videos always have a warm, friendly vibe, and I always enjoy hearing her thoughts on books and life in general. Plus, she has a cat called Harry who likes to invade her videos, and not being able to see his cuteness makes me almost die of jealousy every single time. This week, Alice tagged me in the 1001 Books tag, which was originally created by another lovely booktuber, Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot, who I'm sure you're all familiar with because she is justifiably popular on this platform. As I'm sure you know, Sandy is currently working her way through the 1001 books to read before you die, which is a noble task if you ask me, and that's the basis for this original tag. So, both channels will be linked in the description, and I'm gonna dive right in. 1001 lists. Do you follow any book lists? This can be anything like a prize list or a challenge, like the Rory Gilmore challenge. No, I don't. In fact, I don't have a clue who Rory Gilmore even is. I should probably have looked that up, shouldn't I? Oh well. Other than the fact that I am a mood reader, there isn't any particular reason why I don't follow any lists. I don't have anything against them, and I will occasionally glance through one on Goodreads. It's just not something that I'm particularly into. I think the main reason why I'm not into them is that they're subjective. Who even gives anyone the authority to write a list anyway? Oh, I'm sorry, Beaverlover69, I don't have any idea who you are, so why should I trust you when you say that these are the top 50 crime novels I should read before I die? Besides, I don't know when I'm gonna die. I could drop dead today, tomorrow. I can't read 50 crime novels by then, that's literally impossible, and if I start a list and then die before finishing it, that's just a bit disappointing and slightly depressing. If I got one from somebody that I trusted, if Alice gave me the top 10 crime novels I should read next year, or Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative gave me a list of horror novels that I could probably read without dying of fright, it'd be a different story. I'd probably at least give them a go. Until then though, sorry Beaverlover69, you can do one. 1001 books. Approximately how many physical books do you own? Nighttime. Heavy storm clouds choke the sky. Raindrops pound the pavement. Hazy multicoloured lights reflect from deep, rippling puddles. With his head bowed, one hand in his pocket and the other sweeping a cane from side to side, Mason walks along a deserted city street looking dejected. He's wearing all black and angry tears mingle with the droplets of rain on his face. Behind him, twinkling Christmas lights illuminate the sign of the Very Bookish Bookworms bookstore. Removing a device from his pocket, Mason presses a button and laughs as a massive fireball punches its way through the ceiling of the building. He doesn't turn around to look at the explosion, because there'd be no point. As for how many audiobooks I own, the total currently sits at 114, not including the ones that I've returned because they were so bad I wanted my money back, although half the time that's got more to do with the narrator than the actual book. That might not sound that much to the avid book collectors out there, but 114 is quite a lot considering that I've only been buying them since the beginning of this year. 1001 books read. Approximately how many books have you read, and do you keep track? This year has made me realise that I've read a surprisingly small amount of books for someone that always thought of themselves as a person that loved reading. Without going back through my terrible memory and attempting and failing to remember exactly, I would say that the number probably sits around 200, which is absolute insanity considering that I've read 51 this year. Becoming a part of BookTube has been an eye-opening experience. Whilst I always thought of myself as someone that loved reading, I think I was measuring that love by how invested I became in what I actually did read. As a child and a teenager, a lot of the stuff that I read I got really into and became a massive fan. I think I stayed in my comfort zone a bit and I read a lot of the same books over and over again. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel a little bit of imposter syndrome when it comes to being a booktuber. Sometimes I wonder why you guys would even listen to me when there's booktubers out there that have read so much more than I have. Those 8 years where I didn't read at all have meant that I am relatively inexperienced. As for how I keep track, it's just Goodreads. 1001 Arabian Nights. Have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights? Do you want to? I feel really stupid now because, to be honest, I've heard of the Arabian Nights, but I don't know what that is at all. I mean, obviously it's a book, but I have no clue what it contains or what it's about. I'm such a Philistine. Okay, so I went and looked it up, and now the answer is, I don't know. I mean, Middle Eastern folklore sounds pretty cool. As cool as any folklore anyway. I can't see it being anything that I would read anytime soon, but I'm not opposed to reading it either. 1001 Flavours. Do you have a favourite food or flavour? Don't be stupid, I'm British. All our food is bland and boring with no flavour whatsoever. It's mostly just meat and potatoes. I could eat a shepherd's pie right now, actually. Favourite food. Favourite food. Oh, does coffee count? It doesn't. Basically, right, I've been sitting here for ages trying to come up with an answer, and what I've got is this. If it's bad for you, I like it. Is that good enough? If it's not, tough. 1001 pages. Have you ever read a book over 1001 pages? Is there a good one you can recommend, and what is the longest book you've ever read? Okay, so the real answer to this question is no. I've never read a book that long, but technically the answer is yes, because the 50th anniversary edition of The Lord of the Rings is a bind-up of all 3 books and comes in at 1178 pages. Cheating a little bit though, innit? I was so excited when I first heard this question because I thought I had an actual answer for it, and then I went and checked the book and realised that it's nowhere near 1,000. That book is the longest book I've ever read though, and that is The Passage by Justin Cronin. For those of you who don't know, The Passage is... how do you describe The Passage? It's technically a post-apocalyptic story, but it starts before the apocalypse happens, tells us about how it happens, and then jumps forward 100 years to show us the aftermath. You know what, I'm not even going to try and tell you what it's about. All I will say is, if you're a fan of post-apocalyptic fiction, I genuinely think that you should check it out because I loved it. I really wish that I could continue with the series, but to tell you the truth, I hate the narrator for the audiobook, which is infuriating. I'm so surprised that it doesn't clock in over 1,000 pages though. I remember thinking that it was huge when I first bought it, but it's 766 pages. 1001 Buckets. Do you have a non-bookish bucket list, and what's on it? A bucket list is a list of things that you want to do before you die, right? No, there's nothing on it. I know it might seem like a boring answer, but I'm a simple guy. I'm happy. I live with my best friend, every day is a good day, and whatever life brings, it brings. 1001 Numbers. Do you have a lucky number, and what is the story behind it? No, not really. Well, this tag's revealing how boring I am, isn't it? I'm not a superstitious guy. I'm not sure I believe in numbers bringing you luck. I don't even play the lottery. I tell you what, I'll make up some numbers that I like. 1, 3, 8, 20, 30. I don't like 6 though. 6 is bad. 1001 Authors. Do you have a favourite author and or genre? I find favourite author difficult to define. The Lord of the Rings series is my favourite series of all time, but does that make Tolkien my favourite author? No, I don't think so, because I haven't read anything else by him. For a little while this year it was looking like Rachel Abbott would get that title, because I was absolutely loving the Tom Douglas series, but the last few that I've read haven't been anywhere near as good. I've started to notice a bit of a repetitive formula that Abbott uses, and it's starting to annoy me. I'd like to read more by CJ Skews, the author of the Sweet Pea series, and if I liked them as much as I like the Sweet Pea series, or even anything close to liking it as much as that, she could definitely be the one. For now though, I would definitely say that the title of my favourite author is undecided. I need more evidence to form my hypothesis. As for my favourite genre, you all know what I'm going to say, crime and mysteries. I just love death. More specifically, I love seeing people catch murderers, which makes me sound a lot less weird. There's just something about a mystery, seeing all those scattered threads, trying to work out how they connect, and then watching them be tied up by someone who's far smarter than I am and patting myself on the back for the little bits that I got right. 1001 activities. Do you have a favourite outdoor activity? No, because you have to go outside to have a favourite outdoors activity, and, well, I've lost my keys. I haven't been outside for 3 weeks. Getting all my food delivered by Uber, and the delivery people have to pass me the food through my bedroom window. Like I said in my last tag video, I don't like outside, that's where all the scary badness lives. I prefer being inside, in my flat, where I can feel safe. What was that noise? 1001 book clubs. Should Sandy start a book club? My answer is yes. If you want to do that, Sandy, you should definitely do it. I'm sure anybody who joins will absolutely love it. 10 plus 01. Tag 10 friends. That implies that I know 10 people. Seriously, the tags for this seem to be coming thick and fast. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get people who haven't already been tagged, so I'm going to settle on 3, and if you've been tagged already, sorry about that. I'm tagging Rosie Cockshut, Katarina the Bookworm, and Karcher from Read, Write, Create with Karcher, because all 3 of those channels are bloody great. My question for today is this: if you were forced to travel in time, would you go back or forwards, and how far would you go? The stipulations here are that if you're going backwards, it has to be at least before you were born, and if you're going forwards, it has to be to a point where, without scientific advancement, you'd be dead. I would probably go forward to the year 3000. I don't think much would have changed, but people might live underwater. If you've enjoyed this video, the like and subscribe buttons are just sitting there, waiting to be pressed. Now press them, or I'll throw frozen Cadbury's cream eggs at your face. If you want to get in touch, say hi and have a chat, you know where the comment section is, and the link to my Twitter can be found in the description. Thanks ever so much for spending time with me today, guys. Until next time, take care. For now, I'm off, and you should have a good one.